Have you ever stopped to think, who was the real mind behind Christmas as we know it today? The most celebrated holiday on the planet, with lights, gifts, music, and hope, didn't start that way. And what's most fascinating is that almost no one remembers, or has even heard of, the name of the person who transformed Christmas into the greatest celebration in human history. To understand this forgotten story, we need to go back long before Santa Claus, before the reindeer, before the famous ho ho ho. Centuries ago, Christmas was a small, almost forgotten date, a modest religious celebration without decorations, without magic. But everything began to change in the 19th century, when a British writer named Charles Dickens decided to write a story that would change everything, and no one could have imagined the power it would have over the world. It was the year 1843. London was living through one of its worst times. Poverty, inequality, and despair were everywhere. Children worked long hours in factories, families froze on the streets, and Christmas. Well, Christmas was just another cold day on the calendar. But Dickens, furious with society's indifference, wrote a small book titled A Christmas Carol. But this wasn't just a story, it was a mirror of the human soul. It told the tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, a cold, greedy man who despised Christmas, until one night he's visited by three ghosts, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. Each spirit forces him to face himself, his mistakes, and what he had become. What Dickens created wasn't just fiction, it was a revolution of emotion. He reignited the forgotten spirit of Christmas in the hearts of millions. Suddenly, people began to rethink what Christmas truly meant. Generosity, forgiveness, compassion, and love came back to life. Families started gathering again. The streets lit up with joy. And of course, commerce saw an opportunity. Christmas became more than a religious date. It became a symbol of unity, rebirth, and hope. But here's what few people know. Dickens didn't do this alone. Inspired by ancient legends from Northern Europe, he helped popularize the image of a kind old man with a white beard and red clothes, the early version of Santa Claus. Decades later, that image would spread across the world, especially after Coca-Cola turned it into the global symbol we know today. Still, the true spirit behind the modern Christmas wasn't born in a soda factory. It was born from the heart of a man who believed in empathy. Charles Dickens didn't just write a tale, he changed how humanity felt. What once was a forgotten religious date became the biggest emotional and commercial event in history. That's why many say Dickens didn't just create a story, he created Christmas itself. The Christmas of family, of kindness, of second chances. And ironically, the man who brought this tradition to life died without knowing the scale of the miracle he had started. Today, millions exchange gifts, hug their loved ones, and celebrate together. Without realizing, it all began with a writer who tried to warm the cold heart of humanity with the power of a story. Now think about this. If one single story could reignite love and hope across the entire world, imagine what another story could still do today. Tell me in the comments, do you believe Christmas still carries the message Dickens wanted to share? Or has the world turned love into consumption?